Women Voice and Leadership started in 2019, February. That is when the grant was formally approved, and it has been able to contribute towards the enjoyment of women's rights and also progressively contributing to gender equality through working with the women rights organizations and women movements in Kenya.
It's very critical to us. I mean, what we want is to create this dispensation and this space where we will actualize women's rights and women's voice as we try to beat up support drums for our sisters.
How best can we be able to approach strategies for mitigation of violence against women, or be it teen pregnancies or elimination of retrogressive progress in an innovative way that speaks to the community that they seek to deliver services for?
We have been winning women to ensure that the women's movement is continuously giving pushback in regards to the implementation.
And the ultimate goal
of defilement cases that at times go undocumented or are discussed within communities and left at that. And I've also felt the need to empower our community. When you involve women much on politics or leadership, there is a lot of parts that they can.
How was the lunch?
Because
it was amazing. It was great. I can hear from the voices. And yeah, we're about to enter another section. And I know after eating lunch, it's so easy to find yourself sleeping, not following instructions because of just the amount of food you have been able to eat. And just to confirm this, I'll tell you something, and let me see how good you are right now with listening to instructions. So I will tell you 1, 2, 3, clap, and then you clap. All right? Let me see if you have something called lanchiosis. I will tell you 1, 2, 3, clap, and then you clap. All right, so let's try this. 1, 2, 3, clap. You see now there's lanchiosis. I'll say 1, 2, 3, clap, and then you clap. All right, so let's try this. 1, 2, 3, clap. This table, what amount of chicken did you eat? We're not judging you. Just tell us. Last one. I'll say 1, 2, 3, clap, and then you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Uko nyuma, I've seen you. Yes. All right. Now, the other side effect of lanchiosis is the inability to know odd numbers and even numbers. Like, what are the even numbers? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, all the way, all right? And odd numbers are 1, 3. All right, fantastic. You A students, all of you are A students. So what you're going to do, when it's your turn, I'll come to your table. When it's your turn, you shout the odd number, but don't say the even number. You just clap once the even number. For example, she might be 1 and then 3. All right, let's see if there's lanchiosis. I think I should start with this table here. Let me start with this table. We're going to go this way. Say it loudly so that people can hear you. Start from 1. You see, 2, lanchiosis. This table has lanchiosis. Let me come to this table. We're going to start from 1. Are we all attentive on this table? Yes. You shout the odd number, the even number you just clap, and then to the next person say the odd number. Are you ready? So we start from here.
1, 3, 5.
Hey, let's appreciate this table. This table is alive. This table is the people usually sleep mostly are people behind the pillars. Let me try this side. Let me sort of try here and then come to your table. Start from 1.
1, 3, 5.
She has clapped and said at the same time. So there is lanchiosis in this place. Because you have proven with the sample available here, kindly just hold the hand of the person seated next to you and just stand up with them so that we remove this lanchiosis. Just stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. All right. Stand up, stand up, stand up. We need to remove the lanchiosis. Tusimame tafadhali. Tusimame. Let's all stand up. And as you stand up, I want you to get someone. So you'll be 2. Pair up really quick. Mukwe wawili. Pair up. And then when you're 2 by 2, look at them face to face. You'll be my neighbor. Come, you'll be my neighbor. Yes. Stand face to face. Make sure you have enough space. I don't know if you can see us from behind. Can you see us? All right, so look at the person next to you face to face. And then hold their hand like so. Tell them, neighbor. Some energy, neighbor. You look so good. You do some great work. So do you mind if I take you out for dinner tonight? Yeah, that's your neighbor for today. Yeah, I can see even some people hugging each other. There's free dinner over there. Okay, look at your neighbor. So when looking at your neighbor, agree between you who can be partner A and who can be partner B. Just decide who will be partner A and partner B between yourselves. I'll be B. You take A. Oh, have you decided? All the A's say A. All the B's say B. All right, so you'll have a very simple task, all the partner A's. Let me start with partner A's. So partner A, he's also partner A. Partner A, music shall be played. Your job is to dance, your favorite dance move, okay? And make sure he's happy, okay? Because partner B is your audience. Partner B is your audience for today. He has promised you free lunch. She has promised you free lunch and free dinner. So that's your audience. So partner A, have you heard the instructions? Your job is just to dance your best dance moves to make partner B happy. And then partner B, since you have a responsibility, your job is to cheer up partner A. You go like, hey! You clap for them, okay? You have to cheer partner A. So partner A, are you ready? Partner B, are you ready to cheer your partner B? Partner A? All right, DJ, give me some music right now. Partner A, get ready, partner A. Partner A's are dancing. Anytime from now, Storm. Higher, partner A, let me see you dance. Volume, volume, volume. Shangilia, celebrate. Hey, 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 partner B, celebrate them. Hey, hey, wabale, hey, aya. Hey, 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 wewe, 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 shikilia kidogo. Wait. I have a question to partner B. Are you impressed? Are you happy with the way they were dancing? Wasirudie, imetosha. Aya, sawa. You guys are lucky. So, unajua wahenga na wahenguzi hawakukosea waliponena kwamba malipo ni hapa hapa duniani. So, partner B, it's your time to dance. While partner A, your job is to celebrate partner B, okay? All right, so I can see some partner A sitting down to see his partner A. Okay, face your partner over there. Partner B, remember it's your time to dance. And then partner A, cheer us up. Cheer partner B up so that they find the energy and the psych. So partner A, are you ready to cheer partner B? Partner B, are you ready to say boo? All right, DJ, next tune. All right, partner B's are now ready. Higher tune. Hey, wewe. Hey, hey, hey. Hiya, ya. Hiya. Hiya. Hey. Twende. Taya. Aya. Teremka. Hey. Aya. Twende. Ra. Ati ta. Twende. Hey. Wewe. Ya. Brrra. Pull out. Come on, give your neighbor a high five and tell them you're a good dancer. You can have your seats. Hey. I think most of you should change your careers. Now we know, we have it on record. We know you love dancing. You need to be dancing a lot more. Feedback well taken. Thank you so much for that. All right, so but dancing is good. It helps you even in stability. It helps you in memory. You can remember so well in terms of coordination. You can even remember in your workspace. Dancing helps the blood flow because sometimes you can sit for so long and you get drowsy and sleepy. So whenever discussions are too long, you can just say, "Sis, where are you?" And then we stand up and do something, all right? Okay, so we want to move to the next segment. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let's check it. Check.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Did you enjoy your lunch? Yeah, so thank you very much. It's not working. Can you hear me? Yes. So thank you very much. This afternoon, we're going to be in a very interesting conversation that with our partners that are joining us for this conversation from different organizations. Allow me to call the representative of these partner organizations to stage. I'll start with Ruth Olo, MasterCard Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Ruth Olo to the stage. Thank you very much. Allow me to introduce to you Dennis Kioko from UNICEF. Karibu sana to the stage. Allow me to introduce, let me get the name straight. Purity Osumba from Christian Aid. Karibu sana for this panel conversation. Thank you so much.
Check 1 2.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, panelists, for agreeing to join us for this.
Check 1 2. Test it.
Yeah, so panelists, thank you very much for joining us this conversation. Allow me.
Check.
Yeah, so I would like to introduce this discussion. I'll be co-facilitating this conversation with my colleague Kavi Karuga from Uraia Trust. Since morning, we've had conversations around WVL, and what you notice is that it's a locally led project. Okay, so which has been implemented for the past 6 years. And to say locally led project is to say that we've been supporting the local actors to do what they do best. All right. So they have been part and parcel of designing the project, interventions, and actually leading in the response from the different areas and the communities that they work in. But today's discussion will center on how do we strengthen locally led development. So that is the discussion you're going to have today. And when you're having this discussion today, we are looking at the lessons and future directions for advancing women's rights and gender equality in Kenya. So that is the focus of the conversation today. And then just a few very important statistics is that there are several commitments that have been made globally to support locally led development. And one of them is what we call the Grand Bargain and Charter for Change. Charter for Change, these are commitments which have been signed for by different international non-government organizations, CARE International included. And they focus more on strengthening local leadership at the grassroots level, okay? And equitable partnerships in issues of the development and humanitarian response. But just to highlight two very important statistics is that in 2023, there was a study which was done by ODI, and the study revealed that it's only 2.1% of development funding that was channeled directly to local actors. So, and the local actors here is women rights organizations, women-led organizations, and the other, to support the work that you do. Now, additionally, we also have another study which was done. It revealed that it's only 3.7% of total humanitarian response funding. In 2022, that was, channeled directly to local actors from the different parts of, in the world. Now, these statistics are they are very important statistics for us, which will guide the conversation today. And it's just going to having this conversation and figure out how do we close this funding gap? What are the proposals? What are the strategies? What are the approaches that the local actors working together with the donors, implementing partners and development partners to close this funding gap, and focusing on sustainability and scaling up initiatives to support the women rights organizations in Kenya. So basically, this is just the contextual background for this conversation that we're going to have today. So once again, welcome. When you're having this conversation, I would like to request my colleague, Kavu, to take it up from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brian. A clap for Brian, please. How are we this afternoon? Say hi to your neighbor and say you have been very impactful. Remember, this project is about women voices. I can't hear your voices. So thank you very much. This afternoon we'll be speaking about a subject that is very close to all of us, and it's about money and how we can become resilient and how we can scale up the work that we are doing, and furthermore, how we can be more impactful in the communities that we work with. So I'll go straight up to the panel by asking, you have heard some of the work that has been going on. And we also know from the context that the money and the funding is not as much to meet the demand. So from your insights, from your experience, starting here, how would you advise our WROs and even all of us to scale our work, and how can we remain sustainable?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Purity Osumba. I come from Christian Aid. So I come from Christian Aid. Thank you. So my name is Purity Osumba. I come from Christian Aid, where I'm a program officer, gender justice. At Christian Aid, we support localization. We believe that there's a lot of resources, there's a lot of support when you work with the local organizations. And in this case, just as we have done
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
So we support local organizations, and we work very closely with partners. We believe that we don't, at Christian Aid, we don't implement projects ourselves. We identify partners that are like-minded and partners that have the vision at heart of supporting and should I say removing, for lack of a better word, extreme poverty. How can we work together to ensure that we're supporting local organizations and we're supporting the community to remove extreme poverty? So to your question, there's a lot of support that we can do to ensure that our local organizations have the capacity to implement projects. But we have to look at how we can, starting from Christian Aid, where we support and work with local organizations, how can we ensure that we are providing long-term projects as opposed to short-term projects? That way, organizations are not always running and writing proposals all the time, but they have projects that they are able to implement within a long-term duration, and that way also you are able to realize change and you're able to see impact. And also we are looking at matters concerning capacity enhancement, where we identify that there are areas within local organizations that they might not have capacities. I was really interested and felt very encouraged to hear organizations from the first panel where they have policies, they have institutional frameworks, they have ways of identifying and working with the community. And that is what we are saying we want to do. We want to ensure that our local organizations have that capacity, that we are, after implementation of projects, when we come back, we are able to see and we're able to identify areas that are of growth that they have been able to do. Something else that we're also trying to do is matters concerning networking and collaboration. We believe that we are not we believe that we don't we can't we something that I'm strong at, and another organization is not strong at doing that. So what can we do when we come together and we're able to collaborate, we're able to we are doing with a lot of capacity enhancement that local organizations, if they're given this opportunity, they're able to do, and they're able to reach out to more people. So thank you. I'm hoping I have answered the question.
Thank you very much. My name is Dennis Kioko, and maybe just to give a bit of a background, I have worked with a local organization. I have also worked with an intermediary organization that was giving money to local organization, and now I'm working with the UN agency. So I have almost been in the different power dynamics and experienced all these different power dynamics. I think one of the things that when you talk about sustainability, it's also recognizing, and you know, when you're discussing about capacity strengthening, is also moving away from capacity building to capacity strengthening, and recognizing that also local actors have you know, an already existing capacity that needs to be strengthened rather than being replaced. We've seen scenarios where, you know, I was very excited today when I was sharing with some colleague that today it has almost been a learning journey for me, just sitting down there, listening to the work, the great works that the different women-led organizations are doing, the innovations that you are having. So understanding that they have the capacity and they need to be, you know, strengthened, and we need actually also to recognize the existing capacity and strengthen it and not replace it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Ruth Olo. I work for the MasterCard Foundation. And like you, my brother, I have worked for all those organizations. And one of the things, in addition to what they've said around capacity, moving away from capacity building to capacity strengthening, because a lot of times funders sit and expect a lot from the organizations. Yet, from morning, we've had the journey that they've had to take to get where they are. And so one of the things that the MasterCard Foundation is very keen on doing is really meeting the partners where they are, you know? And we've really demonstrated that through our work with youth-led organizations. And so last year, we put up a call and said, you know what, we want to try out something. We want to try out working with young youth-led organizations. And we want to meet them where they are, and we want to work with them very fast, you know? Because very, very many times, again, we write proposals and we wait and we wait and we don't get feedback. But one of the things that we learned through the journey is that co-creating solutions with local organizations, with women's rights organizations, really help them to even strengthen that capacity. Because at times, capacity with the partners that we work with, we co-create solutions, and we work with them. In fact, we've actually moved from capacity strengthening to capacity accompaniment. So we accompany you all the way, right from program design to when you're implementing and to when you're closing out. But then the other thing that I think how funders or how, and again, we are moving from funders, we are moving from donors to partners, because there is that power dynamic that is right there. And so just seeing ourselves as partners, because when you succeed, then we also succeed in one way or the other, because every partner, every development partner, every donor, whichever you want to call them, has an agenda, has a very clear mission and vision. They are funding you, it helps. And I want to borrow this quote from assistant friend, Dr. Jemima Njuki. During the UNGA meeting that happened a few weeks ago, she actually said, you know, we should not fix the women. We should fix the systems that are working against the women. And I borrow that and say, funders should actually meet partners where they are. We should not try to fix the women's rights organizations. They already know what they're doing, and they're trying to get support to move them to the next mile. So is it about fixing our systems that we've had in the morning are bureaucratic and not approachable? So I think funders are learning, partners are learning to really try and ask women's rights organizations and local organizations, how can we meet you where you are? And have seen that really work for us. And co-creation is one of the values. But then the other thing that I wanted to talk about really is for the women's rights organizations that are seated in this room. Identify the partner, the development partner that you want to approach. Know their vision and mission. Because at times we write to everyone, yet you've not even understood your funder. You've not understood your potential development partner. What is their mission? What drives them? For example, for the foundation, we have a very clear mission: to alleviate poverty, but also to enhance or to promote education. And so when you come with anything outside of these, we are likely not to meet you where you are. So even as you grow your organizations and as you write those proposals, do you really understand your funder? Do you really know them? Have you researched about them? That really helps. Thank you.
It's interesting you say that, because the WROs have been saying that they try to align their strategic plans to the priorities of the donor or the development partner, because we're no longer calling them donors. And now they're wondering, how can they build equitable partnerships, long-term partnerships, so that they're able to plan and implement their strategic plans?
So the other thing that, let me just say, the funding community, not Mastercard Foundation, the funding community is really guilty about is, almost letting the organizations be their mini version, because the organizations that are seated here, they have their own DNA. They know why they exist, So even as you try to align to the strategic priorities, one of the things that, one of the value around co-creation is really walking the journey together. Not usurping the DNA, not usurping the energy, not usurping the identity of the local organizations. And one of the things that I have seen in my work life is really around long-term funding. And I know that is something that very many development partners are working towards. At the Mastercard Foundation, we have different types of funding. So we have pilots, we fund pilots to really test, what is this idea that you have? What is this initiative that you have that we can test for a year or two? By the time you're finishing, you actually know whether it will work or not. And once that happens, then it is scaled up. And I'm here really, and Wangeshi mentioned it in the morning, we are not part of the WVL. However, the lessons, the learnings, the successes of WVL is what made us partly to support CRU and a couple of other organizations through the Jasiri program, because we tested an idea for a year or so and we scaled up. So that is another one. And scale up is usually between 3 to 5 years. But then long-term funding to up to 7 years, that is the only way you can see impact. Because remember, most of the organizations that are seated in this room are working around shifting social norms. Social norms take a long time before you start seeing the change. 1 year funding will not give you social norms change. Maybe it will raise an awareness, but then it will not get you to the change that you want to see.
Yeah, thanks. When you talk about partnerships, I think one of the things that, again, I would have really loved if we had many also international actors here, because I think also when you talk about all these components, local actors also need to train international actors on how do we really go about on partnership. Partnership should not be just a one-way transactional aspect. I think also when the other component on partnerships, which I think it's something that we've also tried to pilot it, is that partnerships should not only be based on money. It should not be based because now I want to partner with you, this is the money I'm giving, then that is our partnership. I think partnership should move beyond money aspect and really focus on a long-term partnership that we can learn from each other. The other bit is also I'll just go back to the components on what my colleague here has mentioned about isomorphism, it's important for also us as international actors to understand that you don't want to replicate yourself to a local actor. There's a time when I did an OCA to a certain organization in Iraq. And for me, that women rights organization really challenged me. Because, you know, we did the organization capacity assessment. We told them, you know, you don't have these, you don't have these. We need to set up this and this and this. And for them, they told us, as we don't want to grow big, we want to grow deeper. And you know, that was it was a game changer to us. They told us, we are not in the business of growing big like you guys. We just want to serve the same village we've been serving, but to grow deeper. And that really even changed how we had approached the OCA. So again, also in the different aspects, you know, whether it's capacity assessments that we have been walking the journey with them, it needs to be locally driven. It doesn't need to come from me to be able to make it happen. The last bit is also, you know, again, I'll just touch on the OCA because I've really delved much on this. The OCAs that we do should not be to satisfy our project deliverables. So that when I come to do OCA for you, I want to strengthen your finance system so that you report to me better. You know, I want to strengthen your project management so that the project we are implementing together, it is strong. I think it needs to be really locally driven and organizational approach. Thank you.
Wow, I think my two colleagues have already mentioned like pretty much every single point. But one thing that is very, very important is for us to be in a decision-making table. They actually say if you're not on that table, be sure you're in the meal. People will eat you up. So you have to make sure that you're in that decision-making table. When you're making decisions about particular project activities and even particular growth in a particular organization, you don't have to fit to be a mini organization to a particular donor. For example, as my colleague Ruth has mentioned, that we want to fit into this fit for this, we don't call them donors now, we call them development partners or our partner, because now we are getting resources from them. But identify your strength, identify your organization, identify your vision, identify your mission, and then it will also help you to identify a donor, a development partner that is walking similar strides and similar path with you. Like for example, at Christian Aid, we don't work directly with children. But there are organizations like, for example, even Save the Children that work directly with children. So you don't, if the organization fits and works with children, you don't have to fit to be in not to work with children. You don't have to fit for us so that you're able to work with Christian Aid. But organizations, the women rights organizations, to have their own vision. And this is what we keep on insisting, that, you know, there's the issue of power. So for Christian Aid, we say that a lot of, and even my colleagues have mentioned, reasons why we are still battling is because of power structures. And reasons why we are still battling is because there are systems and just as they have mentioned, it's because there are norms. And so there are things that if organizations come together and we're able to decide, we're able to identify and even develop long-term projects, then we're able to identify and see how organizations can have their own stand and look at how you can have your own growth. So these are things that we try to do at Christian Aid and ensure that our organizations and our partners, as we work together, we look at each other as peers and not like you're a donor or you're a partner, or no, we are peers. We are working together, we are all benefiting, we are all trying to support, and we're all trying to demystify the challenges that we have on the ground. So it's important for us to identify areas of our partnership and areas of how we can even identify even matters concerning funding. There are many areas of getting funding. We don't have to fix to one particular direction. There are many different areas of fundraising that we can also identify and look at how we can challenge.
So the final one on this particular discussion is, as development partners, beyond giving the finances, how else can we bolster and support our organizations, our women's rights organizations, apart from the money and maybe technical support beyond your project? How else can we?
Yeah,